What's up guys, Trader Neil here, back at you with another video. Going to be going over Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, and all your favorite altcoins. If you guys like what you see, as always, I would appreciate it if you guys liked and subscribed. Hit that bell icon so you don't miss any of my future videos. And yeah, other than that, let's get started. Alright guys, looking at BTC price action to start out with. We've been in a downtrend, as you guys can see, ever since we made our highs here at 72K a couple Fridays ago. Ever since then, we've been putting in nothing but lower highs and lower lows. And so the question is, when is the trend going to finish up? When are we going to finally make a higher low, put in a higher high, and reverse this downtrend? Well, of course, that all depends on price action. If we zoom in here, we had a nice bounce this morning from these lows here at 63,350. In my opinion, right now, this bounce isn't surmounting into anything as of yet until we at least reclaim these lows here at 64,360 on the 4 hour for something like this. I am not going to get overly bullish at current prices on BTC. What I could see happening is, instead of a reclaim here, getting a rejection at 64,360, chop around in the weekend with the top of our zone being at 64,360 and the bottom being here at 63,370, and then possibly having a move down to this larger support zone to start out next week. Looking at this larger support zone, guys, we have a lot of confluence for a potential long coming up. Not only do we have the value area low of this range here at 62,500, but if we take a fib pull from our low in May to our highs this month, we've got the golden pocket fib, the 618 and the 66 coming in, and you have a daily level right below that. So if I were to take a swing long, this is essentially the area I'm looking at until, like I said, we flip and finally take out some of these lows, start pushing back to the upside. Then I'm going to be looking for a little lower, at least on BTC. Alright, so that's my thoughts on Bitcoin for now. Let's take a look at Ethereum. So at the moment, Ethereum is looking stronger than BTC. Rather than coming down to the overall golden pocket of its range, or close to it, Ethereum is still hanging out pretty much close to the 0.5 fib of the range here, as you guys can see, the 0.5. So it is holding that pretty well, and that's on the higher time frame charts. Getting down here on the 4 hour, Ethereum had a nice bounce this morning at the golden pocket fib, and overall it is looking much stronger than Bitcoin in my opinion. If this GP fib holds and we do have another push back up to these highs on ETH at 3,600, I actually don't think these highs hold up anymore, and I think they get flipped. And then coming up here to 3650, maybe we get an initial rejection, but I would not be surprised if Ethereum has a push. And this lines up pretty nicely with the ETH ETF coming out in about 2 weeks. So I could definitely see this scenario playing out. If not, the more bearish scenario is we have another push down to the bottom side of this range one more time, where you could be looking for longs. If that doesn't hold, then you have much more confluence coming in at the 3211 region on ETH. Not only do you have the value area low your range, you've got a golden pocket, pretty much the same as BTC in terms of that, but you also have historical SR here looking left. And so either we push up from here, come to the bottom of our lower time frame range at around 3,400, 3,390, or lose that zone and come all the way down to 3,200 again. And those are the two places where I'd be looking for longs. And then for Solana, Solana is looking significantly weaker than both Bitcoin and ETH. We go ahead and lower my row size a bit, my volume profile here. The one thing that I will say about Solana is I do see a lot of confluence coming up on Sol for a potential long. So in my opinion, I think a nice place to be looking on Sol for a long is we haven't tapped this daily level, this value area low of our range, or the 886 pattern completion zone of this bullish bat yet, here at 126.86. So in my opinion, any sort of dip that you get into that region will be bought up, and I think this has a nice push up. Would not be surprised to see this play out on Sol. So keep an eye on that. Looking at render, so we're starting to get into some of our shit coins, meme coins, that sort of thing. Looking at render here, you're still holding the bottom side of this range pretty well on render at around 6.8. In my opinion, this one, let me go ahead and pull this volume profile a bit back. This one has already lost a value area low, which I don't like. It could easily reclaim it though, and so where I would be looking at, and we're getting pretty close to it, is a move down to this 4-hour order block before a push up. If you flip 7.92, then things would be looking good for higher prices, and I think you would start to see this POC and value area high next. Overall, your uptrend here on render is still intact, as you can see, from this wick, this wick, this wick, and now this wick. All of these still are within this 4-hour uptrend on render, so until this is lost, render still has a chance. Render, in my opinion, still has a chance to push higher. Taking a look at ONDO here. ONDO has been one of the strongest altcoins in this market. Unlike a lot of these alts guys, this thing hasn't retraced its entire move up during this bull market. A lot of alts have already come down to these lower levels, even almost to all-time lows, and so ONDO has been one of the stronger alts so far. As you can see, this one is still in a macro uptrend. And looking at ONDO here, in my opinion, I do like what I see in terms of ONDO breaking these 4-hour highs. And so next, I actually think that it is very likely ONDO could still have a move up from where we are now that we already broke those 4-hour highs. I think having stops below this zone, aiming for these highs again, is a valid long. And then PEPE, another strong coin in this market, also looking quite good here. Looking at a type 2 of this bullish bat, possibly if 0.0017 is lost, if you got something like this, then I would be looking to take that long. At the moment, you're pretty much in a no man's zone. If this doesn't play out, I'd be looking at a flip of about 0.012 for a potential play to look something like this. Reason being, as you can see on PEPE, guys, all these highs all along the way on PEPE, every single 4-hour high has never been taken. So this downtrend, ever since you put in your highs at 172 at the end of May, none of these have been taken. So if you finally break one of these highs and close with the 4-hour close above one of them, I think this starts getting going to the upside again. And so, yeah, either wait for this to come down, in my opinion, or look for a flip. FET is another one that has been doing pretty well in this market. Over the last couple days, I mean, in general, this thing has been in a pretty strong downtrend ever since it made its highs at the end of March. But ever since it came down to this FVG here, it had a nice reaction, about a 50% move to the upside. And at the moment, I wouldn't be chasing these candles on FET, but I would be looking for it to come down, retest this daily order block, and then have a real push up. Because other than that, if that area gets lost, you do have a daily level right below you, about right here on FET. So a little bit more of a safer play would be DCA there, and just to have stops below that daily. If that gets lost, then I think things start getting way worse for FET, and then you start seeing sub $1. All right. And then last one we'll go over today is Phantom, guys. So FTM on the daily is actually in quite a good spot. Yes, you're in a downtrend here ever since you made your highs at the end of March, but I still like that it's trying to hold above these highs at 5.5, which were the macro highs essentially here in January of 23 and here in December of 2023. So if the daily today closes back above these highs at about 5.54, then I think Phantom could be in a good position to have a push higher. Be aware you have overhead resistance coming up here at this order block that you could easily get rejected from. So I could see something like this where Phantom comes up, hits that order block, retests this level as support before the real push up. Would not be surprised to see something like that. And in this case, I'm already in a long from yesterday, but I would definitely add to it if we got a scenario that looks something like that. Alright guys, so looked at BTC, ETH, Solana, and a couple of our favorite meme coins, AI coins, and shitcoins. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the TA session today. If you guys enjoyed what you saw in this video, I would really much appreciate it if you guys hit that like button, that subscribe button, and hit that bell icon so you don't miss any of my future videos. Hope you guys like the short form content. And yeah, I will see you guys on the next one. Peace.